Hello everyone, my name is Seth Vasquez and I'm going to be giving a speech on how fast fashion ultimately kills the environment. The use of large quantities of fast fashion by consumers leads to trend to consequently to jeopardizing the environment, which creates prerequisites for the development of sustainable practices. Zamani, 2016. I used to buy from fast fashion all the time as well until my friend ultimately exposed me to the destruction of our environment. We have all purchased from fast fashion to the newly popular Shein to H&M. Fast fashion is one of the leading contributors to the destruction of our planet, and we must all take individual actions to resist purchasing from these companies. There are three main points throughout this speech. Firstly, how fast fashion causes major environmental damage. Secondly, consumer habits drive this destructive industry. Thirdly, we can all reduce the impact through individual action. Before we get into this, we must explain briefly what fast fashion is. Fast fashion is just fashion industry creating clothing from not very good quality of material. And slow fashion is the industry where they create better quality of materials for clothing. Fast fashion also is not recyclable compared to slow fashion. Some of the evidence for how fast fashion is destroying our planet is from Radoff, 2023. And he states the industry leads to excessive water use, toxic chemical pollution, and carbon emission. Radoff also continues to explain that textile production emits more carbon emission compared to international flights and maritime shipping combined. And if we think about it, worldwide, 24/7, there was always a international flight going on, and it's just mind-boggling how much carbon emission is polluted from fast fashion. Another point is that around 80 billion clothing are produced yearly, and only a quarter of those are recycled or even recyclable. The rest of the clothing is discarded as waste and pollutes the environment. Fast fashion products are used less than 10 times on average, and I myself am a culprit of this as well. I buy a clothing and I think that I'm gonna wear it many times, and I only wear it 2 or 3 times. Fast fashion clothings cannot be easily recyclable. Again, only slow fashion materials can be recyclable. The impact is that we get polluted rivers, overstuffed landfill, and increased global warming off from fast fashion compared to slow fashion. Secondly, consumer behavior fuels this industry. Companies continue to create fast fashion because consumers continue to want and need. Research shows that younger generation are more susceptible to indulging in fast fashion because it's more affordable. Social media influencers all have they all have a part in this, as a social media influencer could be wearing something trendy, or even your friends could be wearing something and you think, that looks nice. And then you'll buy it and wear it probably 1 or 2 times, just like our prior point talked about. The more we crave for fast fashion, the more we actually support destroying our planet. Thirdly, individual choices can reduce environmental harm. We must change our awareness on what is killing our environment. The solution is rather simple. we buy less and buy more or better quality clothing. Another solution could be buying clothing secondhand through a thrift store, perhaps. And if your clothing is recyclable, which again, most fast fashion clothing aren't, then you should recycle or you should donate to a local charity or the thrift store. Again, all of my sources highlights that slow fashion reduces fashion's carbon footprint. In conclusion, fast fashion is harming the environment, but we can make a difference by changing how we shop. Fast fashion pollutes and creates landfills of the environment. Fast fashion, with our support, we can also support the environment's destruction by resisting purchasing from these industry. And individual changes can impact the earth environment positively. As students, we don't need to stop shopping, we just need to start shopping better. Thank you.